Congratulations on the purchase of your Coolaroo Shade Sail. We're going to be going through some simple steps on how to install it at your home. First of all, we need to choose the location and the parts that will be necessary for this installation. Turnbuckles, eye bolts, snap shackles and S-hooks. The shade sail itself is folded up and comes in a nice square box. Step 1 will be opening up the shade sail to be able to place where the poles need to be. Now that you've laid out your shade sail, it's important that you decide which accessories you're going to be utilizing to tension your fabric. For this application, we're going to be using the S-hooks on the back line against the wall. And through the columns on the front line, eye bolts and turnbuckles. These will determine the final position of your post for the installation. We now lay out pins to the final location of where the columns are going to be planted. Any point or marker to mark the point. For a 3.6 by 3.6 shade sail, your foundations need to be approximately 400 by 400 wide and 800 millimeters deep. Now that you've dug your hole, make sure that your hole is 400 wide by 400 by 800, 80 centimeters deep. Now that we've dug the holes, it's time to place the columns into the holes. We've got one long pole and one short pole. This allows for your elevation change. At the base of the column, we drill in self-drilling screws for an anchoring system. These will go into the bottom of the pole, the part that goes into the concrete. This is to avoid the column sliding out of the concrete. It's always advisable to place a thin layer of concrete at the base so that the column doesn't touch the natural soil at the bottom of the hole. Now place the column centered in your hole. Now that you've placed your pole in the center of your hole, carefully shovel your mixed concrete around the column so that it doesn't shift in the hole. After you've ensured that the base of the column is secure in the concrete, you can just tip the concrete into the hole. Pull your concrete up to approximately 50 millimeters from your finished floor level so that it allows you some space to put your grass, whichever other surface you're putting back around your column. When leveling the pole, one can lean the column up to 10 degrees to allow for deflection, depending on the individual need and look that you're looking for. After filling the concrete up to 50 millimeters below the top surface, ensure that your columns are all level according to your desired amount. You will see approximately 50 millimeters from the top of the grass. This allows for us to put the soil back and the grass back. Now that we've installed the columns, we need to identify what accessories we're going to be using on our final product. In this application, we're going to be using the snap shackle, 2 eye bolts through the columns, and 4 turnbuckles. We'll need a drill with an 8mm drill bit. We'll require a tensioning device. Also need a secure ladder. The next phase is laying out the shade sail again. This will allow us to identify our back line where the holes need to be drilled. Now we lay our accessories out in place. Now that we've laid our accessories out in all four corners, we can identify on the floor where the point is going to be, allowing for stretch, and take a plumb line with a level up the wall to where you're going to be drilling your hole for the connection point. With a tape measure, mark your point in the center of your pole. Using a marker, mark where your hole needs to be. Making sure that you have the nut and washer. Insert your eye bolt. Keeping the eye bolt in a horizontal position, secure with a 13mm spanner. And repeat on all four corners. Hook your turnbuckle into your shade sail. Make sure that your turnbuckle is fully extended. Hook it onto your shade sail corner and hook it onto your snap shackle. Make sure that your turnbuckle is equally opened. In other words, not like that, for maximum tensioning. Make sure that all of your hooks are pointing downwards. As you connect up your third and your fourth corner, you'll notice that the shade sail becomes increasingly tensioned. You can add extra accessories in to make it easier or to extend your point. Again, making sure that your hooks are always pointed downwards. On the fourth corner, connect up your turnbuckle, then hook in your strap. Make sure that you put in your turnbuckle first, otherwise it'll pinch and you won't be able to get your turnbuckle in. Connect up your strap tensioner. Tension it by hand as far as it'll go, and then ratchet your final point into place. Again, using a snap hook for the final tensioning or extension of the point. Tension up your turnbuckle. And release your strap. Now using a screwdriver, place it through the turnbuckle and tension on all four corners equally until your shade sail is suitably tensioned. You know that the shade sail is suitably tensioned when there is minimal deflection on the catenary edge. Congratulations, you have now successfully installed your Coolaroo shade sail. Enjoy the shade.